What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and in this video, I'd like to share with you a good habit that I think every investor, every successful investor has. And if you're a successful investor and you don't have this habit, you should incorporate it into your investment strategy because it's only going to amplify your returns. That's all it's going to do, right? This shouldn't take long. This is a very simple thought here, but while we're in this kind of boring, lagging phase, I think it's very appropriate to talk about. And as human beings, we have this kind of nature in ourselves to focus on the big things and kind of pass over the little things, right? But the people who focus on the little things, right, they tend to round everything out. You're very successful and very well prepared for the things to come in life if you focus on the little things. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's get into this. Okay, what little thing am I talking about? I'm talking about the little bits of money, the little bits of money. Okay, I'm talking about $100, $500, $20, whatever it might be. You're like, what are you talking about, Caesar? I'm talking about returns. I'm talking about you as an investor, right? You have your whole portfolio set up. You've made your bed, you've laid in it, right? Maybe you have $1,000 in your portfolio. Maybe you have 10,000, 100,000, a million, whatever it might be, millions, hundreds of millions. You know, some people have tons of money invested in crypto right now. And regardless of what your status is, there is money that to you is probably sitting in your bank account or sitting around that's quote unquote insignificant, that will probably just continue to sit there, right, for months and months and months, that could be invested in crypto. But you as an investor, you're like, I've already got 25 grand in my account. I've already got $18,000 invested. What's $100 going to make a difference? What difference is that going to make, right? $100 for the average person. No, nobody wants to lose $100, but $100 is a pretty palpable amount of money, right? Anybody can more or less come up with $100 within like a week or two, I would assume, if they just save, if they don't spend money. You know, $100 is not some impossible target to ask for, right? And if $100 is a lot of money to you, I'm probably going to speak even more directly to people like that. But even if it's not, you should still listen up. $100 put in the right crypto, not even the right crypto, but just any crypto in general. I've got a couple measurements here. I'm going to delete the fib so that we can see, right? Typically, from high to low, we do go to our 2272. So that's where this measurement comes from. Okay, this measurement over here, that's the 2272 measurement. This one here is in correspondence to the last 6 months of our alt season last cycle. Not this 6 month period, but the actual last 6 months of alt season. This was a sideways lull phase. This was the peak alt season finale that we had. And we've probably got about 6 to 8 months left in this current cycle now. So just in comparison to last cycle, and I do think this cycle will be more eruptive. We haven't had any expansion at all. So I think this expansion will be even more eruptive than last cycle. We'll get 6 months of candles just like this. It'll promote more growth. But in the respect of last cycle, if we saw the same kind of moves from the current price, you could expect an 11x, 11x, 25x. That's the thought that I'm trying to offer here, is that by the end of the cycle, and we've gone at length to explain why we think a 25x or more is what the average crypto investor can expect. I'm not going to do that here, but a 25x to an 11x. Imagine you put that $100 in anything in crypto. Really, anything outside the top 10, anything inside the top 200, top 500, top 200 to be safe. You're probably going to get anything from an 11x to a 25x return. And if $100 is a lot of money to you, but you have it saved up, it's sitting in your bank account, you're building on that, and it would just sit there for months anyways, that $100 could turn into $1,100 or $2,500. It could turn into a lot more money. And if $100 is a lot of money to you, that's amplified gains on what is a lot of money already. That's incredible. If $100 isn't a lot of money to you, and you don't think it's going to make that big of a difference, let's say you have 18,000 in your portfolio, or 15,000 in your portfolio, or some kind of number around there, and you think you got $100 in your account, maybe a few $100 in your account, and you're like, I only need $100 for groceries this week or for food, you know, and then I get paid. But I'm just going to let that money sit there anyways. It's insignificant. Why add it to my portfolio? Add it to your portfolio. Put it in there. Put it in a coin that you think has 100x potential, that has 50x potential, that has the potential to outperform the average altcoin. Imagine you put $100 in something that maybe it doesn't do an 11x, maybe it doesn't do a 100x, maybe it does somewhere in between. You do like a 30x move. That $100 turns into $3,000, and it's just money that would have been sitting there anyways. A lot of successful investors, they take their scraps, they scrape them up, they penny pinch, they nickel and dime, and then they put them into investments. Because as you do this, it's like a form of DCAing, right? But at a very small level. But as you do this, over time, that money that would have just been sitting there anyways turns into, and that you wouldn't pay attention to, that you wouldn't care. it's a fart in the wind to you. You're focused on your portfolio that's worth 6 figures, 7 figures, at 5 figures, whatever it might be, right? And you're not focused on this little 3-figure number, this 100 or 200, maybe $300 there. You put it in not even the right coin, but just anything in the top 200. You're going to turn that into money that you can use for a vacation, for rent, for food for a month, for more than that probably, right? It's for Christmas money, whatever. Um, maybe there's other things. Maybe you have debt that you got to pay. I don't know. And this is just a way that you could take that money. It's so simple. It's so simple, and it's something that, again, it's more. I think it's more on us to kind of be, what's the word, tenacious. I would say tenacious, to be persistent with this kind of thought of investing, the scraps, because it's really easy to let those scraps just sit there and let those build, and then those scraps turn into something, right? Then that $100 turns into 500, 1,000, whatever. You've got a little bit of extra money. Instead of investing it, you're like, you know what? I've got a little bit of extra money. I'm going to treat myself, and treat yourself. Do that. Live life. Do your thing. Who am I to say, right? Not financial advice. Not a financial advisor. But if you're patient, if you're thoughtful, if you can be a little bit resilient for the coming months and maybe hold off on treating yourself for like the next 6 to 7 months, you could treat yourself 10 times over. You could treat yourself even more. You know what I mean? Like if you just put your scraps in. So that's the real thought that I wanted to offer today. It's nothing really like too eye opening. I feel like I'm more being dad right now, telling you to clean your room, right? But it's like a mundane task like that. But genuinely, get the scraps, gather your scraps, get your coin jar, put your $80 in there, whatever it is. Let it turn into something more, and then have fun with that money, right? If it's money that doesn't matter right now, turn it into something that matters. You absolutely can. We're in that point in the markets where things have yet to take off, and you really don't have to put it. I mean, you can just add it to a new altcoin, the same altcoins, whatever. But there's nothing wrong with adding to your portfolio, even a small amount. I have people ask me all the time. They're like, "Hey, man, I would like to invest, but I don't even have $1,000 to my name, so like I can't invest with that." I don't care if you have $10 to your name. Like if you don't have $1,000 to your name, $100 is probably a lot of money to you, right? So if you can save $100, I think anybody in America, let alone probably most places in the world, you can probably save $100 within a month's time, if not within a couple weeks' time. You could probably save that up with the proper spending habits and the proper work ethic, right? Even a basic work ethic, you could probably save up $100, unless you've got, everybody's situation is different. Some people, man, have a lot of debt, they got a lot of hardship, and I understand that, right? I'm sympathetic to that. But even those people, you can scrape up $10, $20, whatever it is, put that money into something in crypto, and then that 10x's, 20x's, 100x's, that could change your life. That could really put you in a good position. That little cherry on top that we're going for here could be the difference between you being able to pay taxes and not being able to pay taxes. Like it can add to your rainy day fund, and we all need a rainy day fund. If it's going to sit there anyways, why not put it in the fastest growing asset class in the world, cryptocurrency, when it's really right on the precipice of its next alt season? That's just the thought that I want to leave you guys with. Anyways, I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Again, this isn't like eye-opening stuff. It's just more of like a good habit. It's like brushing your teeth, and I'm being dad right now, telling you, floss, brush your teeth, do your thing, okay? I want to see you guys shine by the end of this cycle. If you're wondering what this is, it's just a screwdriver, right? I'm just fidgeting with it. I'm a fidgeter. I actually fidget with a lot of things. You wouldn't believe. Like below here, if you're ever seeing my hands move around, I'm fidgeting with things, but I don't normally show it on the camera. Anyways, brush your teeth, floss. Don't eat too much sugar, right? All that's a metaphor for just saying put your scraps in, gather your scraps, and think about how you can gather scraps. Get your coin jar, right? Pick up those extra hours at your job, whatever it might be. Work the weekends if you're working in a job that does tips, or whatever days do best for tips. Get that extra little scrap in there, man. It can turn into money that makes a difference for you. It really can. And you'll only be happier about it. It might take an extra bit of grinding right now for that. You might really feel like you're scraping the barrel here. But in 6 months to 7 months, your future self will be so grateful that you did, genuinely. These little moments like this, these little scrap things, that money that doesn't matter, when it turns into money that does matter, you have freedom to kind of use that for whatever you want. Where your serious investments in your portfolio, that's meant for serious things. You've got some fun money at the end of that. I don't know. It's just a thought. Hit the like button. Christmas is coming, right? This is a good way where I think even if we don't do a 10x to a 20x by Christmas, there's still money that could be made by then. $100 could turn into a few $100 or more by Christmas, and that can definitely help people. Anyways, I got nothing else for you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.